Herzlich willkommen zu unserer 31. Podcast-Ausgabe Chat with Funky Space. Ja, ich heiße Sie herzlich willkommen. Wir freuen uns, wir sind in einem neuen Jahr, mittlerweile 2025 im Februar. Und neben mir sitzt wie gewohnt meine liebe Kollegin Toni und mietet sich ein. Langsam und stetig ist dieser Wandel bemerkbar neben mir. Diese, ich möchte sagen, Transformation zu Milady. So wurde ich angewiesen, sie zu benennen in dem Augenblick, wo es durch sie spricht. Und diese Transformierung, die bekomme ich jedes Mal so intensiv und so besonders einzigartig jedes Mal mit und freue mich, bis ich diese Teile, diese wesentlichen Teile von dem, was sie gibt, Milady, bald mit euch teilen darf. Es gibt, in diesem Jahr werden wir Workshops, Seminare, Speeches anbieten und da dürft ihr teilweise, wenn ihr mögt, schauen, hören, euch auch wundern kommen. Ganz herzlich willkommen.
Hello, it's Space Radio. Hello again.
Space Radio, richtig.
Yes, I'm here with my energy and I'm here with a lot of information for the world and for also the natural forces in your world and also for the human beings and also for the development of politics in your world right now. So you are in let me say, in a position which is like, putting a new order. It's like getting into something new, which has and gives also a lot of question marks to many human beings. That's natural. That's something normal also. Yeah. And I want to start, with the forces of the mathematics.
Sehr gerne, dass wir die Natur erst beleuchten und dann zur Menschheit oder Menschheitsgeschichte, auch zur aktuellen Geschichte übergehen. Sehr gerne.
2025, also we spoke already about it, and it's like this new, it's like opening a new book. It's the new book of a new energy. It's the book of new commitments. It's the book also of let go old commitments. It's the book of getting inspired about new, I don't want to say technology, and it just come later on that. It's just something which has never been on Earth. And now it's a time in your world where you think that you can go on with the things that you know from the past, and still you are in the present, but you are always looking to the past and to commitments in the past, to things which have done and be made in the past, if they are, resolutions of conflicts, if they are, possibilities to work differently, you look always with the experience to the past, but you look to the experience of the last 15 to 80 years. You don't look back about 100 or 200 years. You don't look back about what has been 2 millions years ago. You just look back in the time you can, and many of, not that many anymore, human beings have been there, and what you can think that it goes on like that, and what you think that, it makes the world better. So what I need and want to say is really, first of all, that it makes the world different. It doesn't make it better, but it makes it different. What's the difference now from the old or to the old, and what's the new thing? So you are in between this big step, or in between that big gap. Now we are going to make an island hopping. And an island hopping that you understand what you can take, from the old knowledge to the new essential knowledge that you need to go on in the future. So what your world is made of is technology. You're just talking about technology, you're talking about artificial intelligence. You just want to go on with technology, and you feel that the world has to go on with technology because it's the only thing that can preserve what you had until now or the last years or centuries, and that you think that it will just go on forever. Now, the main problem is oil. And now people and governments are looking, and want to have, the knowledge of where they can take oil, that they can preserve their technology and go on with their industrialization, with, new technology that you can present new things to the world. But with that knowledge that you have already, because you have the oil, you destroyed also a lot in the world.
Yeah.
And now, this focus on this new, of this new mathematical, I want to say it's like the form of this new mathematics. I want to call it like an angle of something new, because you put different forms together. So first of all, I need to say that oil will fail in a few years. I need to explain it like that. Oil will fail in a few years, that you can go on with the steps that you had until now. What does that mean for population? What does that mean, in what you have to think for? Now, without oil, you are not able to do some steps. Now, what you have to prepare in this era is that, the failure and the not having the oil. And I really need to say, it's like, and I will tell later on, because you don't have oil, it needs that you think differently. And we talked also once about the DNA of this new generation, because the DNA of a generation is also fulfilled with the knowledge of how they can survive. So they people upcoming survive differently to this period. People right now on Earth don't survive this period because they don't have the knowledge. So the knowledge comes back to survive a period of a lifetime, of the world lifetime, in a different way. What you can learn now and start also to following different steps, and we talked also about that in previous episodes, that you need to go back in time, because what you do right now is like just exploring only new technology. Without oil, you can't explore it.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. And then you fail, and the failure of this population right now on Earth is the not knowing how you can survive that time and that period.
Ja, das nehme ich sehr gerne an. Ja.
This is something that you need to understand, that the techniques that you have today, and we talked also about, the younger generation, it's not so in techniques because they know very much about it, because their DNA is just telling them, well, if you don't have oil, you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that. You need to have different developments of ideas and different developments that you can use.
Yeah,
now you can say, well, we are right now on Earth and we want to have it like that. And it's just egoistic thinking that the world can go on like it is right now.
So wie wir es kannten bisher.
So what do you need for the future, for this new development also, because it is going back in things that you need to make different. So you will not have plastic anymore in your world in about 15 years. What's good, because plastic was not was a short period in your world, and plastic demolished lots of natural givings from the earth. So develop back in not having plastic anymore. And plastic was something which was made in this era of technology and with oil. So now what survives without plastic, and what you can use and what you can form without plastic. So just rethink daily give a daily impact on what you need in the future without plastic and with another material.
Also das ist unsere Aufgabe auch heute, weil es geht ja um die Veränderung als solches der Erde, also ausgehend von der Erde, die uns diese Ressourcen nicht mehr liefert und gibt. Wir müssen doch wissen, wie gehen wir jetzt mit der Veränderung
That's why we are telling that, you know, you need to understand why things can't get, because many companies think that they can go on with that, but through all this development under the earth or in the earth, you know, the changement of where you can have and get something changed completely. And we talked once about that. So right now you think that you have mobile phones and you can call and you have this kind of material and this prime material and this, and it goes on like that all the time. Earth is just giving. Now, through the earthquakes, just the deformation of the inner side in the earth just break this down so you don't have it anymore, or you have it on other places. So right now, governments are just seeking for, you know, they think that, you know, this country is a rich country, and that country gives me this, and this country gives me that.
Mit Erdölschätzen.
Well, not only oil, but also other things, that other prime material that you think, well, you know, we just have everything for the next upcoming 500 years. Just forget that. Earth this year will just develop new forms of through earthquakes, through tsunamis, through this completely changement of rotation as well. It just deformed the inside so that prime material will not be there where you're expecting it. And that's what you need to know and understand. And this is something you need to know as humanity, because if you want to go on as human beings in the world, you need to think differently and you need to provide differently. And that's why we are telling that.
Richtig, also ich finde das einen sehr wichtigen Hinweis, den Sie uns da geben, weil da gibt es jetzt keine Lösung als solches für uns als Menschen.
Right now not, yes.
Und es geht um ein Bewusstsein. Ich möchte es hier immer wieder wiederholen und aussprechen. Es geht um das Bewusstsein, okay, die Erde verändert sich in ihrem Innersten, zeigt dies. Und wir wissen, dass wir zum Beispiel erdölreiche Gegenden, im Moment wird auch viel in Grönland geforscht, die werden innerhalb kürzester Zeit nicht mehr so anzugehen sein.
Yes, and we are saying that because politically your world is just looking for all this prime material.
Richtig.
Politically you want to start war for prime material. Politically you want and you have corruption in your world for prime material. And politically you want just to destroy other countries and human beings for that. So to understand that it will just change completely. Now, you know, human beings are saying, well, or political people maybe want to know, but where can we just get then oil, or where we can get different prime material that we can survive? That's the big question. We don't tell you, because first you need to learn that step, that you have to focus in saying and go back. You know, you have these three rules in your world, that first you have to rethink, then you have to refuse things, and or you have to refuse and then you have to reduce. But you never think also to reorganize things, and you never think also on the meaning of reuse things. So, you know,
exactly,
and that's the problem.
Charakter,
yes,
so was Schickes.
But this is something which you need to consider to go on the next years.
Den lebenserhaltenden Zyklus am Laufen zu halten.
Yes, but because your daily living, your daily everything which you do daily is based on oil and going to produce and consumption. Now, oil will just, it's just like clothing, you know, it's like you just want to have water.
Versiegen,
yes, exactly. And
klar.
it just stops from one day to the other. So what are you doing? Prepare yourself as humanity to go and to step back. That's the lesson that you have to learn in this next upcoming 10 to 11 years. This is something which makes people also angry, makes people aware about other problems. But that's why we are telling you that,
es bringt die Menschheit natürlich in eine große Not, die sie als solches nicht so leicht handeln kann. Ja, klar.
Yes, but that you understand that if you focus on the problems that we can tell you today, focus on that you don't have to make war for something which is just really not there anymore in a few years. And in a few years, I don't mean in 10 years, it's less. So you have to focus differently on what you can resolve and how you can resolve the problem.
Richtig. Und das bringt uns zurück zu uns selbst.
Well, but you know, at the beginning of the world, because a human being is made also in frequency, and we told also about this frequency, knowing the frequency and the connections to the knowledge, that's why other tribes survived that long, because they were further in thinking that they can co-provide in what it's not there or what it's different. We always said it's like, look at the stars that you want, the stars are looking at you. It is like what is changing, and to get to this information, the more information you have, the less war you have also to do, because this is one thing, this is one, the seeking of oil. The seeking of this industrialization time, which has been the last 250 years, very, very well. But why? Because the Earth, planet Earth, has its own step to go forward. It needs to clean up with the old thing, and it cleans up with earthquake, and we talked about that. It cleans up also with tsunamis, and it cleans up also with very much water and very much fire. So to understand all that, you need the surface and also the inside change. Yeah. So you have other, and you will have other prime material. Let me say it is not a prime material that you can use it daily like oil, because with oil you did a lot of things. But what it gives you also to survive periods. And what you need more than water. What you need more than water. Without water you can't survive in your world. And because, and that's why I'm saying that also, with the technology that you had in the past and still you have right now on Earth, you gave like this. It's like the illness of water right now on Earth. Let me call it like that. It's the illness of water.
Ja, das ist ein sehr schönes Bild.
Yes, it's the illness of water. So, yes, exactly. So plants are just, you are destroying plants with that. You are destroying animals. You are destroying the life places for animals. You are destroying everything. So it's like you gave the injections of poison to water. Right now, what it's in the energy and in this mathematical field of information, it is that water has just, it's like after or when you have an illness as a human being, you have just also the period where, you have to be at home, or you have just to drink tea, let me say it like that. You have just to recover. Yeah. And now through this changement, water has to recover. And through this recovery, you have also different, possibilities, that on different places you can get more and better water, that you can resolve different problems. But the water has to recover. Yeah. You can understand that.
Ja, das ist wirklich ein
Without water you don't do anything in your world.
Ja, das ist ein sehr schönes Bild. Es gibt die Tiefe, die Dimension.
Yes.
Ja.
And so through that, and because of that, you will have also islands will go away, and also parts of countries will just fall apart. I need to say that.
Also but durch die Erdbeben, Tsunamis, also Seebeben, Vulkanausbrüche.
Yes, it gives a different geographical picture. That's we need to say that. So you
über
need
den Zeitraum
everywhere.
Von etwa. Nein, den Zeitrahmen.
The next 15 years.
Oh.
Yes, it's really a movement in the Earth in the water, planet Earth. It's just really, it's a big movement. Yeah. That's why if you think that you can do or build a house somewhere where, the mathematics are telling you, well, this part will just be disrupted by earthquake or by tsunami, and it's not always where you think right now on Earth that it can be, because places which you can't or don't do expect, because your scientists in your world are focused on different numbers and on different how you call it, on different knowledge. Our knowledge is much higher and frequency. We know in frequency what happens where and when. So that's why the time range, it's about in the next 15 years. And look also to islands or to places which had tsunamis or earthquakes in the past. Things changed around those places. So you need to understand it in a different way. It's not just only taking away, but it's giving also back, but differently.
Sie meinen damit auch, es sind nicht nur die Vulkangebirge oder vulkanischen Inseln, die jetzt davon betroffen sind, sondern es ist die Erde, das Erdinnere. Genau.
Yeah. So it changes. So that you have places where you have much more holes in the earth, and you have it already now, and really holes, and you have we called and told you also this disruption and also volcanic ashes. So you need to understand it in a different way, where you can also go and build or go and go away. So you need to understand it in a different way. So it is like if you know the map, I need to say it like that, if you know the map of the geographically impulses of the world dynamic.
Das heißt aber viel, viel weiter zurückzugehen, um diesen, ich sag mal, Rhythmus, Zyklus ein bisschen zu erahnen.
Well, not back, in the future.
Ja,
you
richtig,
need to understand
aber um
it
da
in the
etwas wie so erahnen zu können aus der Urbewegung über, ich sag bis und mit
you don't know that.
2000
You don't have,
und noch viel mehr. Genau.
Yes, you don't have that knowledge, because people, your human brain doesn't think in frequency. You just can't get the frequencies. You need to understand it differently. So you're looking to other planets. You want to know about other life on other planets, and if they are aliens, and you're just you are completely out of range about this knowledge. You want to know everything what's out there, but you are not looking in your world itself. You just you have your scale. Well, you have the scales about earthquakes, and you have the scales, and you want just to put everything in numbers in black and white.
Ja, aber es hat wenig verhalten. Yes. Und es hat uns wenig wirklich oft geholfen, um dort eine sichere Prognose abgeben zu können, also bezüglich Tsunamis, Erdbeben.
Yes, because it has a different frequency. You don't know the frequency. So now I can't imagine that the scientist wants to have black and white. Well, just tell us at what time and where, at what time and in which country we have this. Let me say that starting the big one, it's a very big one, which will just get this year, in a very big disruption and disruption also, and disrupt also places. You have already a big movement on Earth. You know that also by your black and white statistics. But these big ones just get, it's like the start of many big ones, of many little big ones. And so it changes all the time.
Ja, die
so
tauchen natürlich an verschiedenen Stellen der Erde auf.
Yes, and this is like, this timetable of frequency and mathematic field, which just get also a different thinking about the world's life. And also going back to the prime material, that you understand why you don't have the same prime material at the same place until now. So you need to understand the whole thing. Now, why you make, just politically pressure at other countries, why you make politically commitments with other countries that you think, or not commitments, because you think that the world goes on like that. You can do it as human beings, but be aware about that. Just get out with a zero on that account, what you want to have.
Ja, weil natürlich eine viel größere Gewalt da am Werk ist, als unser menschliches Denken
and we
überhaupt
always,
reicht.
we always said that nature will just focus, and it comes to the right time, I need to say, because egoistic governments and human beings want to destroy more than what it is. They want to destroy more of your world, and you have just that planet, and now the planet destroy, their souls. Yeah. So I'm sorry to say it very clear.
Ja. Mach das mit einem kleinen einer kleinen Handbewegung und dreht das
And this is just like, showing up. This is really showing up this year. This is really, and it gives also, let me say, it's like a big clash also to all those let me say, infiltration of what you think that you can have from planet Earth. Now you get the big slash back. That planet Earth, it's not something that a country or, a government or somebody earns. Yeah. Planet Earth is planet Earth, and it owns itself with their material and with their beauty, and also with their faults, and also with their beauty and with their everything.
Yeah.
And this is something you need to understand, that there is, and this is why it comes to the right time and also at the right place, not to think that human beings can own something.
Ja, es ist wiederum ein schönes Bild, was sie uns zeigen. Die unbändige Kraft, die Natur in sich birgt. Es ist die Natur, und wir sind Teil
Modern Nature, yes.
Und wir sind Teil der Natur. Und sie regeneriert sich, sie heilt sich im Grunde genommen.
And it will focus on that. If you have this information, please stop also to build on many places things that will just go away. So it's just it's loss of money, it's loss of human beings, it's loss of many things.
Ja, klar.
And it's everywhere.
Ja, und es kann auch überall eben
It is everywhere,
auftreten, erscheinen, alles vernichten.
Yes,
also
it is.
In kürzester Zeit.
Yes, it is really focus on how you go forward without the technology of what you think that you have right now, and that you're focused that you can have it for the next 200-300 years, and you're thinking far, but with the old knowledge. You're thinking far with the old knowledge. Now you need to understand. Yes, because you're thinking that the last 200 years, that's the future of the world. Now the world says, no, stop. We stop it. Now you just got everything, and now we have a name. We have something inside, and world, and that's why knowing the mathematics of these mathematical fields, which always. We are talking about the mathematical fields. You understand why also old tribes of many countries build things completely different than you build today, and build things on places where they knew it will just be for, and places are also sacred, because it was necessary, and they had this knowledge.
So ist es, und auf das wollte ich Sie vorhin auch schon gerne ansprechen. Es geht hier um ein Wissen und eine Weisheit,
well,
die wir auch wieder neu erlernen dürfen, sprich müssen.
Well, let me say that many human beings don't want to know about it. It is not the, let me say, mathematical field don't blame human beings, but
Nein.
they don't play with human beings. But human beings play with nature.
Ja.
And nature just has its own, let me say, structure to be and to do. This is important to know, And let me say that ignoring nature science, what many are doing right now on Earth, it is just, let me say, you will be involved in things which you have to expect it that it will be like that. Ja,
deshalb meine ich, es bleibt der Menschheit nichts anderes übrig, als sich mit der Natur wieder auch auseinanderzusetzen. Eben, dass wir ein Teil sind dessen und damit sein können. Dadurch leben wir. Und das heißt, wir müssen auch die Sprache, die Zeichen, den Rhythmus wieder lernen. Wir müssen ihn hören, sehen, schmecken.
Many don't want to, I need to say, but many will not, let me say, will also... You know, it is also a surviving period of humanity. I need to say very clear.
Ich würde das auch so bezeichnen.
It's a surviving period,
Es geht auch jetzt um Qualitäten des Überleben-Lernens.
It is not having fun the next 10 to 12, 15 years.
Man spricht so von der neuen Zeit und einer neuen Ära und Dimension. Es ist jetzt die Zeit, die in die Veränderung aber so brachial hineinführt
and it's not
durch die Naturkräfte.
And you know, your world is like made right now, going to vacation, just making this and having that. You know, you're just focused that much on the old mathematics, and this old mathematics is closing up. This old mathematical field, which has been like 250 years. That's why also in this period the efforts of lots of things have been invented during that period. But through these inventions, you know, the human beings lost, excuse me to say it like that, the brain for nature. And now it's like, you know, nature, and that's why, you know, nature has these mathematical fields give, you know, the importance for the world, also for other planets. You know, it is, you know, a structure. When you know the informations in the universe, in these mathematical fields, you understand why it was like that, but why something comes to an end and why something gets a different direction. And knowing all this, you can understand it. Now you can understand why also generations of human beings have survived that long, because they were connected with nature. Now, the last 250 years, people were connected with stepping forward in industrialization, and you lost your brain with nature or for nature. So that's why it just brings you back, and it just no, it's not even bring you back. It's just it's just a slash that it's from one moment to the other. So technology, and it's also something which gets to an end. That technology that you have right now on Earth gets to an end. So why you just look for things that comes to an end? It's egoistic. It's an egoistic way to make money and for consumption.
Ja, das ist auch in dem Sinn blind, wenn wir den Vorhersagen, die Sie uns hier immer darreichen. Wirklich ist ja ich möchte es bezeichnen wie ein großes Vertrauen, was Sie uns hier der Menschheit auch über einen kleinen Kanal reichen, an Möglichkeit, die Dinge etwas anders zu betrachten.
Because many
sich da drin auch zu reflektieren. Wo bin ich in diesem ganzen Kontext? Das wäre die Möglichkeit des Einzelnen, sprich der Gemeinschaft.
Yes.
Wir haben da drin eine Aufgabe.
You have, let me say it like that, start to have or you know, that you just got horses again, that you got just carry it again, and that you get just things that you think, well, that was 200, 300 years ago, but without oil, you are thrown back in that time, and you need to understand and to focus on how you can survive. And that's why also I need to say it very clear, many human beings they can't survive that period, and it's really also, it's not to make people aware or angry about something, but you need to understand that many things will not be there anymore that you have and had until now on Earth. So think differently in how you can go on in this new era with the natural and I don't want to say and call it problems, but with the natural effect about what is happening. And, people can say, well, I'm living right now on Earth and I want to, my consumption is this, and I want just to go on like that. If I'm dying one day, that's fine. That's the idea. I can see it and feel it in frequency that people are thinking like that. And let me say
hat
that...
auch mit Ignoranz zu tun.
Yes, and let me say that... it's a frequency which is low-based, which has also no importance to planet Earth.
Also hat keine Reflexion zur Erde. Also spricht die Erde die Erdfrequenz nicht an, resoniert dort nicht. Verstehe ich Sie da richtig?
Yes.
Ja, das heißt, da gibt es auch wie zu wenig bis gar keine Kommunikation mehr dazwischen. Ja, verstehe.
Yes.
Spannend, ja, das sind große Worte, die wir da erfahren dürfen.
So nature will really, let me say, knowing the steps of nature, you go on with you need to go on with the steps of nature.
So ist es.
You need to go on with the steps of nature.
Möge unser Blick gehen.
Yes. Because what you have right now on Earth, and the steps you are going right now politically in information, in what you think with your dynamics of industrialization and also consumption, the big wall is coming, and we told also about this big wall, that if you're going like that, the big wall is in front of you, and the big wall is the force of nature. And you have seen it now already in some places, what was destroyed, and it goes on like that. So you need to understand it in the matter of what is also your fault as a human being.
Ja, ganz, ganz konkret im Alltag. Also alles, was wir benutzen, mit was wir umgehen, wie wir uns fortbewegen.
And it has also to do also with how much do you need to get from other places. So you can have everything in front of your door and be aware about what you have in front of your door is what you need. You don't need to have it from other places. So the having from other places, that way that you have, flights coming in with this kind of fruits and flights getting out for that kind of material. You just...
Wir können es einfach ordern und...
and it comes abruptly to an end for many things. So just be... And you are not expecting that, because you mean that your world is going on like that in that step. And now this year it's just many things will and you have it already that things are, you're just giving let me say, you're just looking, this company is just closing the doors, and you have always people around,
Medien hört,
and this is closing, and this is not working, and the consumption is falling down, and we didn't make a lot of money this year, and these are your problems, but feel the problems of planet Earth. So planet Earth is already giving you the big signs.
Ich bin sehr dankbar, dass Sie so deutliche Worte sprechen. Man hört in jüngster Zeit so viel von dieser neuen Zeit, von einer neuen Ära, einer neuen Dimension, die beginnt, auch betrachtet an den Gestirnen im universellen Bereich etc. Also man hat den Eindruck, es ist wie Aufbruch. Ich habe immer den Eindruck, wir vergessen, dass wir hier auf der Erde leben und mit ganz handfesten Dingen beschäftigt sind, eben wie Sie das jetzt auch so erläutert haben, wirklich reichhaltig uns erzählen, was alles jetzt geschieht. Bereits ist ja einiges auch in diese Richtung schon geschehen.
Yeah,
also,
it becomes much more than that.
Eben, ich habe immer den Eindruck gehabt, das war erst der Beginn. Ne? Also wir kommen, wenn ich Sie so verstehe oder auch interpretieren darf, diese mathematischen Felder, also diese energetischen großen Felder, die eröffnen sich jetzt universell.
Yes.
Und
And
da
on all
tritt
places,
auch eben die Erdenergie hinein. Ist das richtig?
Yes. You need to understand, the world where you're living on right now, on your Earth, your other planets, but your Earth had always a history and had different animals on the planet, had different, the disruption of countries, how you have it right now. You have the maps that you think, well, these maps are forever. Now we have these rules and now we have that rules. And just go back in history, how many different maps you had already in your world and how much also... And it was not because they haven't been there, because they changed also. And now it changed again. Now you enter in this period that it changes again. And, don't focus that you think that you can go to vacation somewhere. They are also places where it is not to go somewhere because things will be destroyed. And then it is the movement of the earth itself that takes also... let me say, landscapes away, but brings you also different landscapes on different places where you're not expecting it. So you need to understand it as planet Earth is made of fire and fire works.
Yeah.
Fire takes, fire brings, fire gives.
Yeah.
And you need to understand this very, let me say, forces of what it is. So it's not, and that's why, you're so focused on egoistic pieces of planet Earth. You're really egoistic on egoistic pieces of planet Earth that you can't understand the whole thing. And now, don't make business because you think that if there is this prime material, we just want to have it. Let me say that during these 10 or 15 years, many political people are not there anymore. And many, let me say, knowledge that you have right now on Earth will be gone as well. So it is also the era that things will be forgotten and things will grow differently. Yeah.
Mit der nächsten Generation, von der auch immer wieder die Sprache war, sprechen Sie ganz dezidiert davon, dass die eben auch eine andere Kenntnis, ein anderes Wissen, ein komplett anderes Wissen, als wir es heute haben, eine Weisheit
No, the consciousness.
implementiert.
Yes, it's the DNA they need. Yes, because they need to be different, because it is like the stepping forward into something which is basically they needed to go on with that kind of new world, They don't need the techniques. Why they should know about the techniques about your world if it's not existing anymore? So they need to be, with a higher, and this knowledge is much higher, which is coming up, So you need to understand that, and more frequenced. So the connection is also different.
Higher frequency.
They don't need, they don't need what you have these little things to call, and you have just they connected differently. Connecting with frequency they don't need things like you have it right now on Earth.
Sehr wichtig, dass Sie das erwähnen. Ja,
and
wir vergleichen immer noch mit unserer jetzig lebenden Spezies Mensch.
Yes, and you have another sessions or another registration today. We'll talk about something also very important, because now also the other planets are, let me say, involved in the steps going on Earth right now. Yeah.
Sie sind selbstverständlich involviert über die ganze Frequenzveränderung, so verstehe ich
Yes, for sure. And your scientists are like... you are always focused in something new and, in searching and do research, and you want to have it black and white. Now, through this new mathematical field, the whole thing's got just in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
And this is something what you are not expecting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ich bin sehr
Yes. So, yes, let me say... think differently, that enjoy what you can enjoy. I need to say it like that. But be prepared that many things that you have as daily use as well will also be deleted of the knowledge of the earth in the next 10 years. But it can go also so quick in many things already, yes.
Ja, eben, weil wir in diese Felder, in diese energetischen Felder so stark jetzt...
Plant, excuse me to say, plant lots of wood. Plant a lot of plants, trees, wherever you can. Do it also for humanity, and do it also for the population which is going through these upcoming years, because it's not something that you will, let me say, it is also a surviving trip, for planet Earth. So plant as many trees. Stop focusing on building houses, building whatever you think that you have to show to the world. Plant. Ja.
Ich danke für diesen wunderbaren, wirklich auch Aufruf und die Erinnerung. Es ist das Leben pur.
Yes, because what you need,
über die Pflanzen,
what you
über
need
die Photosynthese, über den Atem der Menschheit, also für die Menschen der Sauerstoff, für die Erde der Kohlendioxid.
You need water and you need air.
Die Zirkulation.
It's very, very important, because what you're doing right now, you just take all the resources that are giving to humanity to survive. If you continue that step and you're doing it, and it's a very clean and clear word from the energy of this elementary mathematical field, just think differently and stop consumption like you have it right now on Earth.
Ich danke.
Yes, it's important.
Für die Klarheit.
Yes, thank you so much. And we have a second registration today, and also with a lot of information that you need to understand it as well. Yes, so it's always a pleasure, and I hope that human beings really understand the message of what really is important in the future, and it's not the small problems you have, in your world. And with small problems, I know that you think, well, we are humans and we want to have that, but think globally, and that's what we say always, think globally. The little spots that you have, and with all the comments in your world, and with, you need to open up your eyes, your heart, and also your consciousness, because it's the only survival. I really need to say it. It's like, excuse me to say it that way, it's like, that it took the bad drug right now on Earth to go forward. But open really your mind and the consciousness, that you really just get into that you can survive also this period. I need to say it very clear. Very important. And think also about animals, and the animals which are giving and bringing you also food and a solution.
Ja, weil sie Teil der Natur sind.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, think about that as well. Very important. So thank you very much. And just, we have a second registration today, but I say thank you for that one. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Danke
Bye-bye.
für Ihre Präsenz.